Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're listening to this. Pop some headphones on, maybe go for a walk or do some chores, whatever suits you best. I encourage you to take some notes. We're going to split this message. It is one message, but we are going to split it into three. So it's just more manageable, so you can binge and listen to all three, or you can listen as you are able to. But I really encourage you to take some notes. Okay, let's get right into it. I want to introduce myself because I know that some of you don't know me. My name is Sue Ellen and I'm South American. I say that because my parents are Brazilian, but I grew up in Argentina. I am a pastor's kid and I grew up in Argentina in the mission field. My parents, they were missionaries there, and what a privilege. I grew up knowing of the Lord all my life. I came to actually accept Jesus into my life later, but I grew up knowing of the Lord all my life, and that is a beautiful privilege. I grew up in a house that had a lot of these, and that doesn't mean being a pastor's kid, knowing of the Lord, growing up basically in the church. That doesn't mean that I always had a great relationship with the Bible. I had great discipline with the Bible, or I knew the Lord through the Bible. These things only became true for me later in my life, and this is something that I want to talk about today. Getting in the Word, getting in the secret place and having your devotions, how important it is, and hopefully to give you some encouragement. We'll see where it goes. So after becoming a mom 4 years ago, I found it really hard to, I wasn't sleeping, I was a mom of a newborn, and I found it really hard to kind of like have a routine with my devotions. And I remember sometimes being really frustrated about that because I wanted to have that quiet time. It just wasn't a reality for me. So I wrestled with that, and I kind of tried to read a devotional here and there. Nothing was really constant. It was a struggle. Last year though, I came to a place where we have a routine. She's going to nursery, so I started to try and solidify a routine for myself of devotions. And it kind of felt a little bit dry. I felt like, Lord, do you remember when you used to meet me right here and things would jump out of me? Can we do that again? Because I don't know what's happening, but something needs to shift and I need your help. So I was really honest with God. And I remember writing a couple of prayers on this and saying that I needed something, and God started working. He started stirring something in me. And I remember last year I came across this challenge. Some of you may know that when I got married, some of you may know my husband. He manages the stage on Sundays sometimes. He's like the really handsome guy. That's my husband, Carlos. When we got married, we were living in Brazil for a little bit before we came back to the UK. And we were part of a wonderful church in there. We made friends that we still keep in touch with. The pastor is our friend, and we have them all on Instagram so we can keep up with what they're doing, and it's really nice to be able to do that. So last year, the pastor gave the church a challenge, and this is so like him. The church accepted. It was a tough challenge, okay? He challenged the church to read the Bible cover to cover in 72 hours out loud in the church. And I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing. So they made a schedule. People would come up to the microphone and read a part of the Bible, and then someone else would be scheduled right after that person to be reading. Sometimes they would have like a table with lots of people, and they would like kind of read one after the other to go through the entire Bible. And it was really cool to see these videos. But the last video, it messed me up. It was the pastor, the church's pastor. He was reading the last sentences of Revelation, and he was weeping. And it was so beautiful to see. First, it was so beautiful to see this community coming together to read the word, and the speaking, the reading out loud of scripture, and how I could see in that video how thick the presence was in the room. I just wanted to be there. And I said to the Lord, I want this. I want to read your word. I want to love the word that you gave to us to commune with you. I want to love and respect and give it time. Come and meet you through the word. I want to hold this moment of my day with such importance, because I'm meeting you through these pages. And well, I started thinking, what will be my January challenge? I want to challenge myself with something. I want to do something. Now, I had stopped doing New Year's resolution like years and years ago because I would always fail, okay? And with the Bible, it was no different. I had challenged myself before to read the entire Bible, and I never could quite get to the end. And I really do believe that God, He is purposeful, and the stories that I'm telling you now are purposeful, and they all bring us to this moment. I challenged myself to read the entire Bible cover to cover in a month. It's called the Bible Shred, or Shred, the challenge. And it basically means that you're going to be reading through the Bible. It's a read through of the Bible, and it's going to cost you. It's going to be a sacrifice, because it's going to be about 2 hours to maybe 3 hours a day of reading. I kept my January free of social commitments, and I just prioritized this. I said, I'm going to give my January to the Lord, and I'm going to do this. And I planned myself out before January started, and I did it, and I managed. And this was my first time that I read the entire Bible. It was my first win, if you will, because I'm going to tell you that in my belt, as someone who grew up in the church all my life, I had so many failures with discipline. I had so many failures with, challenges of reading the Bible. There's just so many failures that I could tell you about. But reading the Bible, the whole Bible, this January meant much more than, I'm going to read the Bible, the whole Bible, so I can boast about it. It meant that I wanted to experience what it was to be this committed, to, put my coming together with the Lord daily at the top of my priority list. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I recommend everybody do this challenge at some point in their lives. I don't know, but I think I'm going to do this challenge next January again. So if anybody wants to join me, and we can do it together, that will be even more powerful, and you're encouraged to by me. So I read the Bible, I did the challenge, and it was amazing to be able to see the story of the Bible come together, because reading the whole Bible in such a short amount of time, the beauty of it is that you almost feel like you're zooming out on the story and seeing the bigger picture. And I was just amazed. I fell in love even more with the word. I was, in the Old Testament thinking, it's like a movie, you have all the things. You have drama, betrayal, all the things that you could think about that you'd look in a really good fiction book. You have it in this book, and it's all real. That's the best part. I was in Genesis thinking, wow, look at God created the heavens and the earth. It's amazing. And then he created us, and then he created these people, and then the flood came, and it's a tough one, but I do get it. You are a just God. And then we go through further in, and then the people are in slavery, and God frees the people, and then they go into the desert, and I'm thinking, my God, thank goodness that you are merciful, because if it was me, these people, it requires a lot of patience to deal with these people, because most of the time they're just not doing the things that you're telling them to do. It's, and you go through these ups and downs, and it's amazing to see how scripture points to Jesus from beginning, to all the way to the New Testament. And you just finding the bits here and there pointing to Jesus, and how it all kind of fits together so beautifully. And I'm thinking, God, you are the best designer. You are the best creator. You are the best artist, because this is amazing what you've done here. Sometimes it's difficult to understand. Sometimes it's hard. But let me tell you, my oh my, is it worth it? I will have a story to tell you next, and that will be in the next video. And hopefully this has already encouraged you, but come on, go over to the next video and binge, because this is gonna bless you, and it's gonna bless our team. Thank you, guys.